Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hairyman Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. I'm Nikki, and I am so happy that everybody could make it today. The chat is just filling up like crazy. Oh, there's like a big old white spot up there. What is happening back there? Yucky. It's just my green screen. It's bunched up. So let's see. I am going to go ahead and bring in my guests so they're not sitting back there twiddling their thumbs.
43 powers, activate!
Woo! Woo! I have to. You gave it to me. I have to use it all the time now.
That's all good. It's all good.
How's it going?
That was pretty good.
Good. I also have Mr. Curious Cryptid, Steve. Welcome.
Woo.
And I'm quite happy to not have an intro.
We'll get you one, man. We'll get you one by the year end.
Yes, I realize I just set a challenge. Oops.
Now there's the challenge has been set.
Yep.
Ha ha. So, hello everybody. Thanks for coming again and again. I mean, you make the whole show. You really do, coming in and chatting with us. Donald and Jay and Joe's here, and Sharon, Sandra, Uncle Bones. Hello, my friend. Nice that you made it. My eyes. If I'm missing somebody, I am sorry. We've got a lot to go through today. And oh, hello, sister. How are you? I haven't talked to you in a couple of days. Russell Mogian Monster in the house, and Danny Stanton from South Carolina. Angel, thank you guys for coming. Ben T, I see you guys. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and today the topic is urban legends. Our Bigfoot, Sasquatch, have in the other community, not our little community, but the major community out there, it's often thought of as it's an urban legend. It's not real. So what I did for this show is that as I was researching some of this stuff, there's actually a lot out there on this, but I came across a couple of websites, well, more than a couple, but that are going through urban legends according to each state. And I thought that was really cool. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to go and we'll hit a couple of urban legends in each state and go as far as we can. We'll see how far we can take it. But so according to Wiki, an urban legend or contemporary legend is a genre of folklore comprising stories circulated as true, especially as having happened to a friend of a friend or a family member, often with horrifying or humorous elements. And that can get circulated orally or through any type of media. I mean, newspapers, apps, emails, social media, all of that counts.
Carrier pigeon too.
Yeah,
Can it be
all of that.
horrifying and amusing?
It can be horrifying and amusing. It is. It's amusing. I was finding each one I was reading, I was like, oh my God, I gotta move on. I can't sit here and read this whole thing. But it's quite interesting, and I actually enjoyed reading all this. Just like what's it stemmed from was when we did the superstition night, going through all those superstitions. It was like I found that to be just intriguing, all of those popping up and who does them and who doesn't do them. Um, so I think urban legends have probably been around for a really, really super long time, but a lot of people are saying it didn't really come about or get noticed until the late 1960s. But I have a feeling they've been around forever. We just didn't take note of them, or they were just considered folklore. Um, and I was gonna, in regards to that, there's a lot of now websites out there that help to debunk these urban legends, like snoops.com or what's that other one? Folklore.com or folklore.urban. I think it's folklore.or urban. It's in here somewhere. And now we have television shows. There's a lot of television shows out there that are focused around the urban legend,
I think they had
such
a movie
as
too, like in the early 2000s. A couple of movies called Urban
mm.
Legends, like one of those teen slasher flicks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Um, oh, here it is. Yeah, it does say that right here. Falling victim to them. Urban Legend 1998 movie.
Ooh,
There's
wow.
the shows out there are Urban Legend, Beyond Belief, Factor Fiction, um, Urban Legends Revealed, and Mythbusters. You can consider Mythbusters. They were huge in taking these type of um let's see what else, because they went towards the more scientific methods,
Mhm.
if it could actually happen. um there's just so much information, it but I really just want to get to the good stuff. I
Ooh, I
really
like the good
do.
stuff.
Yeah. And I think I will go ahead and share this, and we will start out with the first one, which is Alabama. Who's from Alabama? Raise your hand. Anybody in the chat from Alabama? Well, they have a. I'm going to go to the other so I can manipulate this. Okay. Hell's Gate Bridge. And according to this, the generally accepted story of Hell's Gate Bridge starts in 1950s when a young couple driving over the bridge somehow drove their car right off the bridge one night and they both drowned. There are two legends associated with the Hell's Gate Bridge. One that if you drive your car out of the middle of the bridge and turn the lights off, the couple would magically appear in the car and leave a wet spot in the seat. Very scary. Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen. The second, um, which is how the bridge actually got its name, is that it is the belief that if you drove over the bridge and you look over your shoulder halfway through, the scenery behind you would turn into the portal to hell engulfed
Ooh,
in flames.
wow, that's quite the bridge.
Yeah. And
Jeez.
of course, that spurred on a lot of ghost hunters and bored teenagers. So, as of now, the bridge is closed to cars and it's in disrepair. So it's even discouraged that you even walk over the bridge.
Mm.
But that is Alabama. Now, there's also another one from Alabama about the Dead Children's Playground in Maple
Ooh.
Hill, Huntsville, oldest cemetery. doesn't just have the eerie nickname. The playground was presumably designed to entertain kids while their parents visited the graves of their loved ones. Legend has it, though, the spirits of the children who've been buried in the cemetery since the first grave was dug there in 1822 come out to play at night. The living has observed orbs of light going down the slide, seen swinging, seen swings moving on their own, and even heard giggling. Creepier still, some say that the spirits include victims of a rash of child murderers that happened in the 60s, when bodies were rumored to have been found in the area and now houses the playground. Since then, in 2007, the city tried to raise the park to make more room. But after a public outcry, they ended up replacing it with more modern equipment and is there to this day.
Oh, wow. I'm sure the orb kids playing on it really appreciate it, and the upgrade and everything.
Yeah. So that is Alabama. Has anybody heard of those two before?
I haven't. Sounds spooky. If anybody's in Alabama, close to those areas, go check it out. It's worth the visit.
For sure.
Yeah, the bridge I had heard about, but not the park.
Not the park. I think I remember one of those Fact or Fictions or something do a story on that one for sure. They had cameras set up and were checking wind speeds and everything. Anyway, okay, the next one is the Kushtaka of the Alaskan Triangle. So there's the story of the Bermuda Triangle, but you might not know about the Alaskan Triangle. On average, 5 out of every 1,000 people go missing in Alaska, according to the LA Times. So even if there's nothing supernatural going on, it's easy to get lost in the Alaskan wilderness. What is that? Tlingit tribe? The Tlingit? Is that how you say it? Who live in Juneau have their own explanation for the high number of missing people. Evil spirits called the Kushtaka. The Kushtaka are shapeshifters, half man, half otter, who lure women and children to the water with fake cries in order to steal their human spirits and drown them. But I've heard the Alaskan Triangle was, more Bigfoot, Sasquatch oriented, where that's where most of the sightings would take place, is in this specific area.
Yeah, well, plane crashes. On how they
draw the map on that Discovery Channel show, it's the whole state. So
yeah. And I mean, right now, our friend, Alex is up there. Alexander, what's his last name now? Perkov. Yes, thank you. And
lucky guy.
He's been sending some amazing photos back. It's just really awesome. So that is that story. That's the only one I have from there. Arizona. So Arizona, the story of Slaughterhouse Canyon, also called the less frightening Luanas Canyon, takes place during the gold rush. And during the 1800s, where there was a family who lived down in the canyon. They were very poor, so the father would venture out to the canyon for food for his family. As you might have guessed, one day the father did not return, so the family slowly starved and descended into madness. The mother, unable to bear listening to her children's cries anymore, put on her wedding dress, murdered her children, and then threw them in the nearby river. The next day, she succumbed to starvation herself. The legend states that if you go down to Slaughterhouse Canyon at night, even now you will hear the loud, anguished cries of the mother who lost her mind. Ooh. That's actually a picture of the church in Sedona. So that picture does not represent Slaughterhouse Canyon.
Such a picturesque name, too.
Yeah,
You
I'm
would
gonna
think
have to
something
look
bad would
that
happen
up.
there.
I don't know where this is. Maybe Mogion does. But that picture is in Sedona, and been up there, done that before.
That'd be
There's
interesting
also
to find out what part of Arizona this is in. Slaughterhouse Canyon.
yeah, I didn't get a chance to go and do that, but I definitely will, and I will let everybody know. Another urban legend that comes out of Arizona is the skinwalkers.
Ooh.
Arizona and New Mexico are really big on the whole skinwalker thing, and um, Arizona has desolate desert roads, so there's some creepy things you see out there for sure. But let's see if I can pick up the skinwalkers. Like so many ancient urban legends, have roots in the Native American folklore. While it's fairly hard to gather specific details of speaking of potentially sinister legends is seriously taboo in Navajo culture. It is understood that what non-Navajos refer to as skinwalkers are witch doctors who have become an evil reflection of everything the Navajo Nation values. Basically, they are men who've transformed into malevolent, murderous creatures that have no qualms using their spiritual powers to kill. Navajo medicine men are trained to learn both good and evil aspects of their power, and skinwalkers are those who have turned to the dark side. It's all very Star Warsy. But it's
Oh, this place is with the dark side of the force.
the dark side. So, there's a little give and take on that. I've heard all kinds of different stories in regards to how they become skinwalkers, but in essence, it is rooted in the Native American culture, and it's believed. And I mean, they've even got that task force there on the reservation to go out and investigate um how do I say encounters or anything, any type of reports that come in regards to skinwalkers. So that's really interesting. Now we're gonna let me go back over here.
Yeah,
So
I've
that
heard a lot about the Skinwalker Ranch. Don't know how much it permeates out from there. I didn't even know it was in Arizona, honestly.
No,
no,
Skinwalker Ranch is not. That's in Utah.
yeah, that's in
Oh,
Utah.
okay. That's
Yeah,
what
it
I
was
misheard.
just they just gave it that name.
Oh,
But
oh,
there's all kinds of like alien stuff going on there, I think. I don't know. I don't know, but it is weird there.
well, with something like that, do you think like the property might attract it as far as ley lines, magnetic field, mineral content, quartz crystals? It seems like that there's places across the world that have these, localized events where the spooky happens.
Right.
Makes you
Um
wonder.
I was watching the series on that for a while, and then I just got distracted. I think it's because I hate waiting for the next episode.
Hmm.
So when it's all done and said, then I'll probably go and binge watch the whole thing.
I do the same thing actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't like to wait,
Yeah,
and I just want
it's
to watch the
very
whole thing.
distracting to me. I just want to know
Yeah.
the whole story, and it's the same as the beginning. Nothing
Hmm.
happens. The questions they had at the beginning are still questions they have at the end, and it's the same with all these um, shows on TV,
Well, they
in
need
my
another
opinion.
season. Can't solve
Yeah,
it.
to make the next season, make the
Yeah,
just
can't solve it yet.
just
Like that
just
pit,
like
like
Oak
the
Island.
money pit.
Dang,
Yeah,
I
it's like,
followed
geez.
that shit for a long time. The first 2 years I was really into it, and then I just started getting disheartened, and I'll watch it whenever, just
Yeah,
put it on record,
yeah,
and I'll catch up
exactly.
some other day because I know it's gonna be the same little thing. They pop up and woo, they're so excited for this
Yeah, found
little
a little
button.
button. Yeah.
So,
They
it's the
keep
same.
making bigger holes in the ground.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys, just dig a
Pretty
big hole,
soon
man,
it's
and call
gonna
it good.
pop up with all kinds of water is gonna be spouting out, and that
Yeah,
whole island's
shoot.
gonna sink because they've pretty much dug holes everywhere.
Well, it's just like a modern day flea circus, pretty much, where these two brothers get paid pretty well to dig the same hole in the same spot, doing the same thing pretty much for the last 100 years. It's entertaining though.
Mr. Moosinator, welcome to the show. Wait, I'm in the totally wrong
Appreciate
hole.
that, Moosinator. Yeah, if they can just like bust that one out, that'd be great.
Yeah, 2 hours from your house. Cool. It's pretty up there for sure.
Yeah, take a shovel, man. Help them dig. You're like, come on, guys, get it going.
Let's get this resolved
I think
already.
they're on like season 9 right now, 9 or 10.
Oh, is it that much?
I
Oh
think
my
so. Yeah.
goodness. I didn't even know
Yeah.
it was that much.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I was like, whew.
I think they were talking about trying to do tunnel boring next year.
Tunnel boring.
Yeah.
That sounds bigger, and it sounds like, yeah, something's going to cave in for sure. But anyway, what's my sister? She's spreading rumors. What is she saying?
She's giving gossip about you as a child and dark secrets.
Probably. Yeah. Season 28, Ben T says.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Oh God, I hope not. Okay, so let's go to Arkansas. The Boggy Creek Monster.
Ooh.
The Falk Monster. And I think we've all seen Boggy Creek.
Yeah, I really like that story. Just the whole everything around it.
It's pretty scary, and that it involves so many people, and I don't know.
I need to watch that original movie again.
Yeah, it's only you can't find it for free anymore. The daughter of the director obtained the rights to it and did an enhancement on it and re-released it. So there's like a much better version out there. But the free old school copy on YouTube are gone because they got it all taken down.
Is this like an MK Davis improvement?
Oh, no, this is actually really good. They did a professional job on it. Yeah, much better.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can find it streaming and stuff, but you just have to pay for it, which is cool because you're helping the family members of they did a lot of money to enhance it and stuff, so it looks good. But you can when you watch it again, you can kind of see when the Bigfoot shows up on one of the scenes, you can actually it looks more like a mask, but okay.
Is that better, Donald?
What?
He was doing his best Steven Isdall impression, guys.
What did he say? Where is he? He's curious using the how to hunt approach. Oh, your background. I liked the background. Okay, well, here it says the Arkansas version of Sasquatch.
If I had time, I'd have downloaded Brent's pictures.
Oh, I know. I loved them. I looked at them all. Except the picture. Oh, well, I was going to show it. I'm going to show them later, and then we'll discuss them. Arkansas, to be around 7 or 8 feet tall and covered in hair, the legend says that he roams the creeks of rural Arkansas. He was first spotted in 1834 when people reported seeing a wild man. He has been the subject of 5 feature-length films, including 1972's The Legend of Boggy Creek.
And this was actually a confirmed event that happened, too. So,
yeah.
It's not something that was made up.
Scaredy. It's scary.
So now we have... That's a good story, yeah. Oh, no, the Boggy Creek Monster, the Falk Monster. If you guys haven't watched the movie, definitely watch it. The second one, you can find the second one for free on YouTube. It's corny. It's 1980s corny Bigfoot movie, but, it's what it is. So there is a sequel.
I have not seen the sequel.
Yeah. Well, it's not like a direct sequel. It's just they make it like a sequel.
One.
Yeah, second one.
Yeah. Where are we? California, the Charman. I've never heard of this one either. The Charman. So, the Charman's original story is gruesome. A father and son were both caught in a house fire and horribly burnt in 1948. After the fire, the son became so mentally unstable that he killed his father. When the police found the son, he was so unrecognizably burnt. They didn't realize he was alive, so he ran away before they were able to arrest him for the murder of his father. The story goes that ever since then, the Charman can be spotted wandering the woods surrounding Ojai, occasionally approaching tents of innocent campers and pretending to be a hitchhiker and then attempting to attack them.
Hmm.
What else do we have for California? The Many Horrors of Turnbull Canyon. Located near LA between Whittier and City of Industry. I worked in City of Industry. Turnbull is 49,000 acres smorgasbord of nightmare fuel set amid the scenic hills. You want your scares rooted in American history? The natives call it Hut. Oh my God. Hutuknaga, or the place of the devil, where the ghosts of those slain for not converting to Christianity dwell alongside witches and Satanists, who reportedly use the place to sacrifice children, whose spirits now walk the canyon and dangle from the trees. That's horrifying. Okay. They're joined by the ghosts of 21 kids who perished in a plane crash in 52, and allegedly there is no existing record of it. Well, then how did they know? Okay.
Plot hole.
Oh, anyway, so there's another one, Turnbull Canyon. The place evil vibrates dates back centuries. And that's all that says.
Yeah, another horror story coming out of California is the high taxes. So, that's a terrible one. Tragic. Do you see their Lake Mead? How low it is?
Oh,
how it's like
yes,
exposing like dead bodies and old, just the old stuff down there. It's tragic.
Bodies, weapons. I mean, that was the place to hide your murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Definitely.
in oil cans, what do you call those big barrels?
Yeah, oil barrels. Yeah, they just found somebody like a couple weeks ago. Just kind of down, and that would be a good place to go take a metal detector, a really nice high-powered one.
Oh my God! Yeah, you'd be finding.
Hey, Brent, how's that one?
Oh, there you go. The Big Four, right? That was right before the storm.
The Big Four. What? What are you talking
about? The ice caves.
Oh, yesterday. He already put it on.
No, just his background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like right before the hailstorm. It was nice. It was nice and sunny. Then it just went south.
If I hadn't said anything in the chat, it wouldn't have hailed. There's an urban legend.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Right. Colorado, the many legends of Riverdale Road. So I had not heard of this one either. Riverdale Road is a site of not one but 8 creepy stories ranging from the Hellgate to ghosts of slaves hanging from the trees. The stretch of road is decidedly spooky. But it doesn't say where it's at exactly. It just says Riverdale Road. The creepiest story, though, is that a phantom jogger. One day, there was a driver who hit a jogger, freaked out, and left him for dead. Now it's said that if you park at the side of the crash, you'll hear disembodied footsteps getting closer and closer to your car. People have reported handprints on their windows and banging noises as if someone was kicking it from the outside.
We have a road like that up where I live. Me and my son were actually going to go check it out. It's over in Granite Falls, Washington, I think, around there. Or Marysville, Washington. It's this old fire road that, apparently it's haunted and does a lot of, has a lot of crazy stuff out there. And a lot of the locals are talking about different experiences that they've had out there. That's like, dang, I really want to go check this place out, like orbs and stuff. And and this is, just random people telling their stories about the history of this road. And it's like, wow, that's cool. I love stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Colorado, Connecticut. Hannah Crana. Hannah Crana. It says, known as the Wicked Witch of Monroe, Hannah Crana gained a reputation as a witch in the 19th century when her husband died by mysteriously falling off a cliff. And locals, he just fell off a cliff. And locals
That never happens.
reportedly believed that she had bewitched him. People also believed that she would cast spells on people she didn't like. Hannah lived to the age of 77, but right before she died, she asked to be carried down to the cemetery in her coffin by foot, not wagon. After her death, the people of Monroe tried to wheel her coffin down the hill, but were unable. The coffin kept falling off. So there they were forced to carry her. When the townspeople returned to their home, it was found to be engulfed in flames, sealing Hannah's reputation of witchcraft. Now you can visit her real grave in Trumbull.
Mm.
Wow. Hannah Crana.
Should have listened to her.
Anything exciting on the other one? No, we'll move on. I'm looking at two different sites at the same time. So Delaware, the ghost of Mr. Chu. Delaware. While not particularly mean-spirited ghost, Samuel Chu's story is still disconcerting. Chu was a chief justice of the Delaware Supreme Court in 1741. As the story goes, while he was alive, he didn't always get the respect he deserved. People frequently made fun of his name by mimicking sneezes while he walked away. Oh, shoo! I guess that's what they were doing. After his death, people reported seeing his ghost sitting under a poplar tree, wandering the courthouse and generally creeping out the residents of Dover. Chu would also pull on men's coattails and give women a cold, icy feeling.
Ooh, creepy.
Creepity. Okay, as soon as you guys hear one that you know about or have heard or
Or
gone to
live
check
by.
out, yeah, let us
Yeah,
know,
live by.
okay?
Oh wait, Brandy says she lives. Oh wait, that place is like 45 minutes away from me.
Mm.
Well, Brandy, maybe you should check it out and give us a rundown on it and see if there's any spookiness.
What was that? That was Delaware. What else is in Delaware? Oh, it's the same story. Okay, we'll move on.
Not much, isn't it? Like a really small state.
That's the
That
only
big.
one. So
And
now we
Brandy's
have
probably one of the only people who live there.
Florida, the
Oh,
gravity-defying legend of Spook Hill.
I've heard of this one.
The phenomena that happens at Spook Hill is real. Cars that are parked in neutral will appear to roll uphill. Legends say that the hill is either the site of a Native American burial ground or an epic battle of Native American chief against a crocodile.
Wow.
I've heard of a few places like this, so I don't know if this is one, but I would
Oh
dispute
yeah.
that there's a hill in Florida.
Yeah.
Good point.
But
Slight
the truth is
incline.
actually just an illusion. It's just an illusion created by the hill's surroundings. While cars appear to be rolling uphill, they are just rolling down.
Well, you know,
Uh,
Space Mountain is the second highest mountain in Florida. So
oh,
That's funny.
oh, I didn't check out what the other Florida one was. Florida. Oh, the other Florida one was the skunk ape. So, another relative to Bigfoot, fully grown skunk ape stands somewhere between 5 and 7 feet tall and weighs almost 450 pounds because they weighed him on a machine. They can be detected by a horrific odor that's been described as sun-baked animal carcass and rotting garbage.
I guess hence the name, huh?
Yeah. And it just goes on to say a bunch of facts that aren't really facts. So,
Yeah, Matt actually just came out with the first part of a documentary series that he's doing on Central Florida Bigfoot. Highly recommend
Yes.
everybody go check that out. And
Yes. Chapter
that's
1. Chapter 1 is
yes,
out, folks.
yeah, and he's from Florida, and he's a great person to follow. I'm sure you guys already all know him, so I'll just shut
Yes.
up.
Central Florida Bigfoot. Go do it. His cinematography is awesome. I
Yeah,
love his
yeah.
technique. It's great.
I think we know someone from around here.
The Ghost of Lake Lanier. Is that how you say it? Lanier?
I think so.
Lanier. Georgia. In Georgia. Oh, yeah. That is where he lives.
Mr. Pat Turner, Squatch Talk himself.
Yeah, at the bottom of Lake Lanier lies almost a fully intact towns
Oh,
and
wow.
racetrack and cemeteries. Whoa. The Georgia government, in its determination to create Lake Lanier, brought up entire towns in order to clear the space for the lake after they received congressional approval in 1946. However, they just decided to let the water cover up the towns rather than demolishing them. Dang, you could go scuba diving down there.
Yeah,
Now
it's
Lake
probably a really
Lanier
good popular destination for it.
has a decidedly eerie feeling about it. There have been an unusual number of freak accidents and deaths on the lake. In 2011, there were 17 deaths alone. Many of the people who drowned have been recovered. People have reported feeling arms and legs in the water, but have not been able to find them right after, leading people to believe that spirits still roam the lake.
Yeah, that's probably Jason Voorhees trying to grab him. Actually, that's I got a thing about swimming in open bodies of water like this, like lakes and stuff. It's like a ladder thing for me. It's something I really do not want to do ever in my entire life, just because you can't see what's below the surface. And
Yeah.
had an experience when I was a kid where it's like it's just I hate open body of water like that. Like
My kids hate it too. We can't
paddle
even go to
boarding or
the
anything.
beach.
Nope.
They barely put their feet in the water. They will not go in the water, period.
Yeah, I need to see the ground. Like I need to see what's coming towards me.
Mhm.
It's weird.
That
And
usually doesn't bother me, but there's a place. Oh, I can't remember the nearest town. Leavenworth. Lake Polchuk is one of those fathomless lakes in the
oh,
Cascade Range,
uh-huh.
Yeah.
and that's a little weird.
Well,
It really drops off, and it's super deep. It's
yeah,
not a huge lake either.
probably like 2 years ago, me and my girlfriend at the time went up to one of these alpine lakes to go paddleboarding. My very first time, I told her my issue with being on open water and stuff, and uh, you know,
Yeah.
so but I went and did it anyways, and so we were out there, nice pristine lake, and then the wind started to pick up, and you can't see the bottom of the lake, and it just it just pushed. It was a really bad experience because it was like trying to get back to where we started was a pain because of the wind kept pushing us towards the shore, and it's just at that point like anxiety started to go through. But
Yeah.
The weather started getting rough.
yeah, last time I ever did that, and the last time I'm doing it again, I don't. It's not fun.
I
Not
got
fun at all.
taken down by a wave in Redondo Beach. And I must have been maybe 12, 11. I don't know, maybe younger. I don't think so. I don't remember if Susie was alive or not. I can't remember. But I put my back towards the ocean, and you're never supposed to do that. And a rogue big wave just took me downtown. It scraped me on the bottom so that when I got up, I was eating sand and I was scratched from my face all the way down because it just was so powerful. It was horrible. I had scratch marks all the way on my face like this. So I don't get in the water. I didn't get in the water for a long time. I did get in the water in Puerto Rico though because it was just too beautiful and it was like flat. It was like you walked out and there was no waves. It was just the water was awesome. But I know what you're feeling. My kids always thinks there's big giant creatures down there.
For me, it's Jason Voorhees who's going to come get me, grab me, pull me under, and take me to hell.
Take it out.
Serious. It's my weakness right
Hawaii.
there. Ooh, Hawaii. This should be a good one.
The night marchers. Uh-oh, my computer's thinking now. So
You must really enjoy walking around that beaver pond in the wee hours.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got some really good audio last year from the beaver not being happy, and it sounded like rocks were being thrown into the pond. It was just a beaver just like, hey, get out of my area, man. That's what it was. One night.
Might have been you,
Okay.
might have been something else.
True. It was on the other side of the pond too. I was like kind of surprised, like, wow, we're like way over here, and this was like 100 yards away from where the beaver was. It's like literally on the other side of the pond there. And ooh, uh-oh.
Well,
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying it might have been something else that you weren't aware of.
That could be it. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be it.
Oh, Dave's here, Bigfoot and more.
Hey, what's up, man? That's why we gotta head back up there. We'll head up there. Already starting to plan something with Cosmo the first couple of weeks of June, so we'll dial it in, and should be, the water should be a little lower. That should be a lot of fun.
My client, unfortunately, my client has a big code release coming up, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully, it can maybe at least come out for a day or something, and throw a bunch of recorders out there and collect a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, where's Nikki at?
No, that's
her computer must have failed, our internet.
She clicked the wrong button.
Yeah, Men in Black. I'm just glad you're here, man. I could not imagine just like being here by myself. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd probably have to like sing and dance.
You do live streams.
Not by myself. I don't mind talking to other people, but like by myself, it's like, man, what would I say to myself?
No, you've done a few when you were out in the woods.
Oh yeah, little commentary stuff, but not live where you have like 40 people wanting to be entertained.
Okay, this is interesting. It's taking her a while to get back.
It is, yeah.
So what's going on, Nikki?
Yeah. So yeah. Well. Okay, she's coming back on.
Yeah.
Disaster averted.
Yay! My internet tanked.
Oh.
It's like really overcast today. Oops. Now I've got everything on. Shoot. Okay. Sorry about that. It happens. It happens, I tried texting you guys too. Nothing. Everything was out.
No, I just saw that come up on Messenger. So.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I have to redo everything.
But you need internet for Messenger to work. So.
Yeah, and if that goes out, then I was like, just hold on, I'm coming.
That's why we actually have a phone landline in our house.
Well, my computer is through the Ethernet. It's not Wi-Fi. I'm hardwired for that. But no, everything was down. But there is kind of like a storm or something out there. I don't know what's going on. It's very overcast, and it kind of had a sandstorm over here. So it could be.
Call it a vortex.
Who knows? Oh, see, now this isn't. Now I have to go and redo all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what state we were on.
Like, Hawaii. It popped up right under night marchers.
Yeah, we were about to start into Hawaii.
Hawaii. So night marchers, never heard of this. According to Hawaiian lore, are not evil spirits, but they do demand respect. They are spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors who march around the islands to protect sacred areas. Legend says that if you look directly at the night marcher, you will be marked for death. And if by some chance you find yourself in the middle of the procession, you are supposed to lie down in the middle of the road. Wow.
So don't get hit by a
They
car.
I actually have heard of.
Huh. Alrighty then.
But I got to go on a school field trip in 1977 to Hawaii.
Ooh,
Oh wow, man,
awesome.
that's quite the school right
My
there.
aunt went to a school field trip in 77 to Hawaii.
We
That is really
yeah,
weird.
my junior high school would people who wanted to go on the big trip would sell stuff door to door, candy, various knickknacks, and basically try to pay for their tickets that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my aunt getting ready to do
The
that.
interesting thing is, with the Kilauea eruption since then, there are a lot of places I walked there that don't exist anymore.
Oh, my husband wants to take us to Hawaii because my youngest daughter wants to go to Hawaii. That might be in the future, maybe next year. I still hearing stories of people being held back because something happens with their, their testing and whatever. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Let's move on. Idaho.
Yes,
Idaho.
I
The
used to live in
water.
Idaho.
You did?
Yeah, Southern Idaho. I actually, for a lot of my youth, I grew up in Pocatello, Idaho, like literally a few blocks from ISU, where Jeff Meldrum
Ah,
teaches at. Yeah,
Pocatello.
yeah. I
Like
actually, my
really?
dad, yeah, my dad and I went with my dad and brother-in-law. Like this was probably the late '80s, like I was 87, 88 or so, 89.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to a Bigfoot UFO conference, or a little meeting, or like a just one of those speaking things, and there at ISU. And I don't remember who was there or anybody speaking because I was so young, but yeah, it's cool.
Oh, I forgot it's not up again. Do you want me to still put it so you guys can see the pictures?
Oh,
I
probably,
thought
yeah.
I wasn't sharing. Oh, what am I sharing?
I think the pictures are worth it.
There we go. Let's see if it works.
Maybe the commercials aren't.
Okay. Well, yeah, some of these pictures aren't even the same as where the area is. So, water babies are a Native American legend that are found in a couple of different places in America, but mostly famous in Pocatello at the Massacre Rock State Park. You been there?
Yes.
Another
Uh,
picturesque name.
yeah, it's nowhere near Pocatello, but yeah, I've been there on a school field trip.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
The Shoshone tribe was first recorded in 1805 and were roaming the Great Plains as early as the 1500s. So it's not clear when exactly this legend originated, but the story goes that the Shoshone experienced an extreme famine. The mothers were forced to drown their babies in the river rather than watch their children starve. Whoa, man.
Yeah, Southern Idaho, it's really flat, all because of the Yellowstone volcano. As the plate move, or as the plate that we're on moves, the volcano heated up the ground and flattened that whole area. That's why you see there's this whole vast expanse like this of just flatness. It's all from the
Yeah,
Yellowstone
the
volcano.
Great Rift Valley.
Yeah,
Oh,
You ever go to
today.
Crater to the Moon?
yeah. Actually, I also lived in Stanley, Idaho too, which is on the foothills of the Sawtooth Mountain Range, which is central Idaho. And it's a lot of celebrities go there. I met Bruce Willis a couple of times, Jamie Lee Curtis, and some other people. Beautiful area.
Wow.
But it's funny how vast difference the two are from southern Idaho to
Oh, yeah.
northern Idaho.
Yeah, I had a friend who was a park ranger at Craters of the Moon, so we got some of the back room tours of some of the more dangerous lava tubes that they
Oh,
don't let
nice.
people go into.
Yeah, I've been to Craters of the Moon. I think on a field trip and just on a family excursion as well. Yeah, it's just like what it is. It's just a big lava debris area type of place.
Yeah.
Ooh, this says that if you sit quietly at the river by Massacre Rocks, you'll hear the sound of babies crying. Others stories say that these babies grew gills and fins and survived. And now
That
they
could,
seek revenge on their mothers by luring unsuspecting victims to their death in the river.
yeah, so that would be the Snake River that goes through there, and
Mm.
which is a really big river, actually, quite a big river. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's cool.
What else was for color? Wait, what are we doing?
Idaho. See, that was
Idaho.
Idaho. That's Idaho's
There's
claim to
also
fame.
one, the Phantom Jogger at Canyon Hill.
Hmm.
Which is exactly what it sounds like. The legless apparition will knock on your window to let you know she's there, then continue on her route. It's creepy as hell, though, and the second worst image when you think of sinister joggers.
Hmm.
Deranged and deceptive, blah blah blah. And that is at Old Canyon Hill Cemetery. The Midnight Jogger. Ooh.
Ooh.
Illinois. Homie the Clown. Oh my god. That Bozo right there though? That picture?
I don't think so. Somebody spooky though.
Um,
Spooky,
Throughout the
spooky.
suburbs of Chicago in the 90s, there was a rumor going around elementary schools. There was a creepy man dressed as Homie the Clown. Yes, from the In Living Color. Oh, that homie in Living Color. Driving around in white vans trying to lure kids into it with candy and money. In some variation, he was a kidnapper. In others, he was a rapist. But in all variations, Homie left a mark on young Chicago kids in the 90s.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
I want to
spooky.
be, well, I was kind of I also had a clown outfit for Halloween, a scary clown. But what was the other one? The other ones. Let me see.
Yeah, it's
Scary
just
urban.
Clowns never
Uh,
bothered me. The Seafair Pirates, they were kind of scary for a while.
Illinois, the Italian Bride. An elaborate marble statue of a woman in a wedding dress is bound to stand out in the cemetery as it is, but that's not what's driven the Italian Bride to be a subject of local fascination. Upon closer inspection, there is an actual photo plaque on the gravesite of a woman in a casket looking perfectly preserved, even though, as in the inscription notes, the photo was taken 6 years after burial after the body was exhumed. Reports are usually unusual activity cover everything from the smell of fresh flowers near the gravesite in the dead of winter to a ghostly figure of a woman in white roaming the cemetery of the halls of nearby Proviso West High School in the dead of night. Ooh, Italian Bride. So let's move on. Indiana, the 100 Steps Cemetery. The cemetery is located in Brazil, Indiana. Though the official address is actually disputed, while it's not clear when the stories about the cemetery being haunted began, there are gravestones that date back to the 1860s. The legend states that if somebody finds themselves in the cemetery at midnight, they must climb the steps and count to 100. At this point, the ghost of the undertaker will appear and show the person a vision of their death. On the way back down, the visitor is supposed to count the steps again. And if they count the same amount of steps, the vision was false. People who visited the cemetery in the past have tried to outsmart the supernatural forces of the 100 steps by avoiding the steps altogether. They reported being knocked or shoved to the ground by unseen forces. Another scaredy.
Yeah, that one's spooky.
Oh, shoot. See, I knew this was going to happen. Let me see. That was Indiana. Indiana over here is Diana of the Dunes. A fisherman first they started reporting the sightings of a woman skinny dipping in the waters of Indiana's Lake Michigan coastline in the 1960s. But years after they saw her marry a man who later became a murder suspect and then die in early death, alleging from the uremic poisoning. Her ghostly presence has been the subject of local lore ever since. Okay, next. The Black Angel. This is in Oakland Cemetery. It doesn't say. The Black Angel stands over 8 feet tall in Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City, and she is black due to oxidation. Most likely because of her dark appearance, multiple legends have cropped up around her. One legend says that the pregnant woman should never walk under her or she'll lose the child. Others say that if you touch and kiss the statue, you'll be dead within 6 months. Yee. Who would want to kiss that? Come on. Kansas, the Devil's Chair. Alma Cemetery. The chair is located in Alma Cemetery. The legend of the Devil's Chair goes like this. An old farmer in Alma refused to sell his land in the city in order to build a new cemetery. Somebody got a little too tired of waiting for him to sell, so he was pushed into his own well. Eventually, someone said that there was a terrible smell coming from the well, so the city sent someone to investigate. It was ruled that the well was empty and it was boarded up. Now, if you make your way to Alma, you can actually sit on the boarded up well, but legend says that people who have sat on the well have been known to mysteriously disappear. Ooh.
That's scary. I wonder if they checked inside the well, make sure they didn't fall down. As far as we know, there's like a stack of people down there.
They build a trap door.
Yeah. Where'd they go?
Oh, man. Kentucky, the Goat Man of Poplick. There's no clear consensus on how the Goat Man came to be. Some say he was a circus performer. Others say he was a farmer who tortured his goats for Satan. Wow. And in return was transformed into a hideous goat monster. However, everyone does agree on his appearance. Dark fur, pale skin, goat legs, and horns. The monster is said to hide under the bridge at Poplick Creek in Louisville, to lure people onto the train tracks, only to see them be hit by oncoming trains. Sadly, this urban legend has had some dangerous consequences. In 2016, an Ohio woman fell to her death from the bridge while looking for the Goat Man.
Oh, wow. That Goat Man sounds like a jerk. Trying to get people hurt. Jeez. Living under a bridge, man. I don't know. Life must be depressing for him. He's got to go act out. But, you know, if you're a goat man, it's not like you have many options in life. Not like you can go get a job like a regular person. I don't think they'll hire a half goat, half man. Especially if you got like a history of like violence. Yeah, good luck.
Okay, so now we got Louisiana, the Grunch. Have you guys ever heard of the Grunch? I never heard of the Grunch. Grunch Road is an old dirt road that leads deep into the woods and eventually to a dead end. It was a favorite place for teenagers to go and do whatever teenagers do until they learned about the Grunch. The Grunch are rumored to be a group of deformed half-human, half-monster that resulted from years of isolation in the Louisiana bayous. There was just a story on these that came out, actually, but they didn't call them the Grunch. They were just feral people. In present day, it is said that if you find yourself on Grunch Road, don't get out of your car. If you see a goat who looks injured, the stories say that the Grunch use goats to lure people out of their cars so they can eat them and drain their blood. Louisiana.
Scary.
So,
another cautionary tale to keep teenagers from going out into the dark.
Yes. Louisiana also has the vampire urban legend, Comte de Saint Germain. The Comte de Saint Germain. It says that Louisiana does not rely solely on voodoo or hoodoo ghosts, and like other debonair, blood-sucking male vampires worth his garlic, Jacques Saint Germain's hobby is securing attractive young females in New Orleans, only to promptly drink their blood, by some accounts. He was born in the early 1700s. In others, he has been alive since Christ. After dying in 1783, he was spotted all over Europe before reappearing to terrorize New Orleans in 1902. He's still on the blood drinking binge in the French Quarter today, though now he just goes by Jack. Nice. Okay. Where it came from, certainly a real person, alchemist, and all around high society snob who befriended a laundry list of famous 18th century luminaries. He ran with crews including King Louis XV, Catherine the Great, philosopher Voltaire, who said he was a man who never dies and who knows everything. He has been tied to several local murders in the 1970s. But then he died of drug overdose in 83. Or did he? Well, who knows? Interesting. But there's always been that kind of stuff there. New Orleans.
Go ahead. I'm still alive.
Of course, that
Okay.
could be like the dread pirate Roberts. One retires and another takes over.
Yeah. For sure. Okay. So, Louisiana, Maine. The mysterious stain on Colonel Jonathan Buck's tomb. Bucksport. The tomb of Colonel Jonathan Buck in Bucksport bears a mysterious leg-shaped stain. The story goes that Buck sentenced a woman to burn for witchcraft, and while she was burning, her leg rolled out of the fire.
Oh, shit.
It's also been said that the witch cursed Buck's tomb to always bear a stain for this injustice. Man, it is said that people who have tried to get rid of the stain twice, but the stain keeps reappearing. You know what also reappears? Skunk spray. We had a skunk. I remember when a skunk sprayed the back door at our old house, and my mom and dad tried to clean that and take that off year after year, and you could always see this M shape in the back of the door because it just never left. It never went away.
Yeah, I once hit a skunk in like underneath my car and stuff, and man, it was forever till that smell went away. The Grunch let me go.
The Grunch. It was the Grunch. Wood Island Light. Maine also has the Wood Island Light. Instead of providing useful light to help ships navigate, the lighthouse on Wood Island repeatedly provides a space for strange moans, unexplained shadows, and other indicators of paranormal activity commonly attributed to murder-suicide that took place there decades ago.
The haunted lighthouse is a pretty common theme, actually.
Yeah, for sure. That's all it really says about them. So let's move on. Maryland, Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay Monster. Chessie sightings have been around since the 1930s, but really started to pick up steam in the 80s when photographic evidence became more readily available. Chessie is said to have resembled a snake, measuring around 30 feet long and is approximately the thickness of a telephone pole. There hasn't been a recorded attack from Chessie, but a 30-foot-long snake does not sound like something most people would want to run into.
Nope,
sure.
I've seen how those movies end.
Anaconda.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just gonna stick with this one. Massachusetts, the spirits of Hoosac Tunnel.
Hmm.
In the 24-year-long construction of the Hoosac Tunnel, in Western Massachusetts, approximately 200 men died. Death was so associated with the tunnel that it was actually named the Bloody Pit. After a particularly gruesome explosion in the 1867 or 1868, 13 miners were trapped inside the tunnel. The other workers assumed that the miners had died, but eventually it was discovered that the miners had lived, built a raft to combat flooding, and eventually died due to poisonous gas inhalation. Wow. Moaning and brief appearing of ghosts happens there. So, Michigan, the little girl on Knock Knock Road. The legend of Knock Knock Road says that there was a little girl who was murdered on Knock Knock Road in the Detroit area, and now she appears to drivers as they're at their car windows knocking, trying to find the person who killed her.
Hmm.
Short and sweet. I'm checking real quick. Okay. Minnesota. The Kensington Runestone.
Oh, heard of that? Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
The stone is displayed in Alexandria. In 1898, the Swedish American farmer found a gigantic slab of rock on his farm that had symbols that appeared to be Norse. And since then, no one has figured out where it came from. While official historians have debunked that the Vikings made an appearance in North America before Columbus did, the myth has persisted. And if it wasn't the Vikings, who did leave the mysterious rock? And what does it say?
Actually, long since then, they've decided the Vikings probably were actually here.
Mm-hmm. Right. Um.
It'd be funny if it was like the
Okay.
recipe to a cookie recipe or something. That'd be funny.
Biscuits.
Yeah. All
Wait,
this
we're-
work for an ancient biscuit recipe.
Okay, Minnesota. The Hairy Man of also in Minnesota, the Hairy Man of Vergus Trail. Has anybody heard of that? I haven't heard of that. What it's not creeped on. Let's see. An 8-foot, musty smelling, barefoot man with a reputation of being unnaturally aggressive is a hell of a thing to consider encountering in the woods. Some reported sightings were just that, sightings. However, reports like Ken Zitzau's made the hairy man more than an apparition, but something to fear. Zitzau returned from driving in the woods with dents all over his car hood and said the hairy man jumped onto the road and began pounding the hood. Where did it come from? Sites date back to the 60s, an increase in the 70s, and still happens from time to time. There was an old hermit living in the woods who wasn't too keen on your rascally kids wandering his lands, is what is speculated. So no one knows if it's human, Bigfoot, animal, or hoax.
I vote Dogman. That's my vote.
Your vote. Okay, one for Dogman. Mississippi. Deer Island Haunted Treasure. The ghost of Deer Island originates from the old pirate story. The story says that back in the 1920s, 2 men were fishing on Deer Island when they heard rustling in the bushes, a noise they assumed was caused by wild hogs. Eventually, they decided to check it out and encountered a headless skeleton. They ran back to the boat, and the skeleton followed them all the way there. According to the pirate's story, there was a ship that sailed into Biloxi Bay and buried their treasure on Deer Island. The crew decided to behead one of their own and left his body behind to guard the treasure.
So my question is, how could he follow those pirates or whoever if he didn't have a
Didn't have a
head.
head.
GPS.
Yeah. Plot hole.
Oh my goodness. Missouri, Momo, Missouri monster. Momo is Missouri's version of Bigfoot Sasquatch. He's been said to have terrible body odor, a pumpkin-shaped head, and an appetite for dogs. In 1968, Momo reportedly tried to report a 4-year-old, abduct. I did not read that right. Tried to abduct a 4-year-old boy, though no evidence was ever found. Momo.
Yeah, Small Town Monsters did a little
Thing,
short
yeah.
movie on Momo. Yeah. Only way I know of it. Haven't heard of it before then.
It's good.
You don't need evidence for these stories.
No.
Nope.
Just fewer plot holes.
Right.
It's good. It's like these are like modern day, or not even modern day, but like creepypastas, And so we like to tell stories, like to use fear as a way to control those we want to protect.
Missouri also has the Zombie Road, and it's there's a trail running through Wildwood, Missouri, just out of St. Louis, and has been a hotbed for creepy tales of ages, often revolving around shadowy human figures following and frightening them along the trail. The road fell into disuse and disrepair in the 70s and saw an increase of teenagers flocking to the area to party. And trying to skip through. Several years ago, the path was paved and used as a bike path. And I don't know. It doesn't say much. Just creepy people walking around there in the dark.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I carry a gun out there. It's not for animals or Bigfoot or anything. It's for people, man. You just don't know, like, shady people out there that up to no good.
Right. They go out
Zombies
there and
even.
they go out there and do their cult things, their occult things.
If I do come across a zombie though and it's coming after me, I'm definitely going to double tap it. First roll zombie, I think, or first or second roll.
Yeah,
whatever.
double tap. Always look behind you in a car.
Yeah.
When you sit in the car. I don't know. All
Get
of
good
them.
cardio.
My husband and my oldest daughter can do a lot of them. The story of Sacrifice Cliff, Montana. The story of Sacrifice Cliff comes from an old Native American legend. 2 members of the Crow tribe arrived in their village from a trip to find that almost everybody had been infected with smallpox and died. So heartbroken about the loss of their loved ones, the 2 decided to blindfold their horses and ride off the cliff to join the tribe on the other side.
Thelma and Louise, that shit right there.
Yeah. See, way back in the day, they didn't.
Yeah, holding hands when they went off the edge there. I love you,
Thelma. Sacrifice Cliff is visible from almost anywhere in Billings. So it's sad to think about the story. Well, the cliff is looming in the distance. Is that? Yeah, that's it right there. So. Nebraska, the poisoned girl at Centennial Hall. Valentine, Nebraska. When insiders chose the most haunted place in each state, Centennial Hall was a no-brainer. Excuse me. People claim that there are multiple ghosts roaming the halls. That picture is not right, though. But the creepiest story of Centennial Hall originates from the 1940s when it was used to be a high school. The story says that the student was playing her clarinet, suffered a heart attack, and died because her reed was poisoned. Oh, now people claim to feel cold spots, hear disembodied music, and have to witnessed an empty rocking chair start to rock. Scaredy. The truth. Oh, Area 51, Nevada. Biggie. Um, there's perhaps no urban legend, myth, or conspiracy theory more famous than Nevada's Area 51, a mysterious government facility that is rumored to be associated with aliens. The U.S. government officially states that Area 51 is classified due to national security, which only fueled the fire. The secrecy surrounding Area 51 is what makes it inherently creepy. And with the government admitting to the program investigating UFOs, the theories about what's actually going on inside continues to seem more plausible.
Well, I
Whew.
have my explanation for UFO sightings on Nevada 395.
Tell me.
Oh, we were driving back from the Four Corners area, and we hit Las Vegas about sundown. So it was getting dark by the time we hit 395. It's just a long, straight ribbon of asphalt through the desert.
Right?
I saw a light up ahead, and I was just watching this light for the longest time while we were driving. And then it disappears. And then a truck comes by with like headlights and fog lights and a bunch of other lights on. I'm thinking that I was just seeing that for miles and miles and miles until it went down into just a little bit of a dip, or the atmosphere changed enough that I couldn't see it by refraction anymore.
Oh, wow.
But
Huh.
it was dark, so you couldn't see the difference between the ground and the sky on the horizon. And I'll bet a lot of people see things like that. And that's the
I'm sure
mysterious light they saw. And then they
when
passed a car.
yeah, it that happens when you're on those long strips and you're just flat. You can see quite further than you think you can.
Oh yes, the rabbit thumper.
Thumper.
Yes, driving along, and there are rabbits along the side of the road, and little
Mm-hmm.
eyeballs lighting up in the headlights. There was this
Yes.
little pair of eyeballs in front of the car, so I started to swerve over one lane, and boinga 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 back in front of the car. So I started to swerve back, boinga boinga boinga. So I started to swerve the other way, boinga boinga boinga, thump.
Oh gosh.
You wanted to go.
Yeah. Those darn little rabbits. The webbits are out there. New Hampshire. The Witch of Hampton Goody Cole. Goody Cole. Never heard of him.
Hmm.
Oh, but now her real name is Eunice Cole. So why didn't they say that? Eunice Goody Cole was the only woman in New Hampshire history to be tried for witchcraft. Oh, multiple times. Her first
Congratulations.
charge was in
Nice.
1656, and she was charged again in 1671.
Bravo.
When when she died and her body was recovered, the townspeople were rumored to have staked her through the heart to prevent her from haunting their town. People continue to blame Goody Cole for the misfortunes of Hampton citizens for the past 300 years. For example, a boat full of Hampton residents overturned and everyone on board drowned. Even though they were in swimming distance of the shore, people blamed Goody Cole for the crash and for cursing the passengers by having them forget how to swim.
I blame them not wearing life jackets, honestly. But whatever. We'll blame it on the city
Yeah.
here. Yeah, a fun fact that I learned not too long ago was that during the witch trials and that whole witchy era, that there's
Yeah.
actually no witches burned at the stake. That's a myth, urban
Myth.
legend. Yeah,
Another
urban legend.
urban legend.
Yeah, they were all maybe
Yeah,
like
that was
hung or
all in
something.
Europe.
Yeah. Yeah.
New Jersey, the Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil. The story of the Jersey Devil has been around since the 1700s. The legend states that the woman named Mother Leeds became pregnant with her 13th child and said, "Let this one be the devil." Once the child was born, it grew hooves, wings, horns, and a tail. Now the monster has been spotted periodically throughout history in the Pine Barrens region of New Jersey. The state has embraced the legend so much that they named their hockey team after it.
Hmm.
The Jersey Devils.
That's interesting. I mean, after 13th kid, it's like, yeah, it's tough right there.
That's pretty
I could
tough.
see it like anthropomorphize the devil onto your child, especially when
Right.
they're like, if it's a boy in the twos, like terrible twos. Man, that's a
Right.
brutal. It's like, ah.
Okay. So now we're to New Mexico. La Mala Hora. La Mala Hora, which refers to the evil hour, or translates to the evil hour, but not really. It's really the bad hour. Mala is bad. Anyway, it's it's entity that you do not want to run into in the dark road. Legend says that at first it appears as a ball of black energy, constantly moving and changing its size and shape. If you look at it, it will drive you insane and you will slowly kill you. At other times, it appears to be a scary looking woman. It's said that if you see her at a crossroads, you or someone in your family will die.
Hmm.
La Mala Hora. And also out of New Mexico, they put the chupacabra on there, but
Yes.
a lot of people originate that down in Puerto Rico. But anyway, simply put, it's a rabid beast that may or may not be the size of a bear, but definitely has spikes on its back and glowing eyes. It can fly if it wants, but it will definitely suck the blood out of your pets and family. And a ton of people think it's real. It actually means blood sucking goat. It's known to grow up in the Southwest, known for the legends. Ooh, I'm skipping all that. Oh, look, in 1995 in Puerto Rico, an eyewitness accounts of the goat sucker has been a steady trope against Central America, reaching a reaching a heat in Mexico and the Southwest over the past 2 decades in New Mexico in particular, has been the source of some notable chupa sightings. As recently as in the summer, a treasure hunter claimed he found a genuine chupacabra skull in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So
And
there's that one also that
That's a very
they ended
special
up.
monster.
It was a coy dog, or it was a manged, completely
oh
manged out dog that they saw. You know,
yeah, like coyote or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, or a
Ar-
coy wolf.
Yeah.
yeah, something. Nothing with spikes or glowing eyes or
That
anything of
rancher
that matter.
lady, she stuffed it. She still has it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and let me go over here, back over here. New York. Cropsey? Cropsey.
Hmm.
The story of Cropsey has many iterations, but it generally tells the story of a man who stalked a sleepaway camp, psychiatric facility, children's hospital, had a hook for a hand, and killed children who were wandering alone at night. You know, those nurses and doctors put that out there to get them to stay inside. Every single person who went to the camp in upstate New York has heard of Cropsey. Things took a more sinister turn when the documentary posted that Cropsey was actually real. A convicted child kidnapper named Andre Rand. Oh,
Hmm.
wow. Also in New York, the Montauk Project.
Oh yeah, heard of that.
That's
Um,
some was it Dr. Moreau type stuff?
yes, exactly. The Montauk Project, a series of alleged government experiments conducted in Montauk, Long Island in the early 80s, reportedly served as one of the Duffer Brothers' main inspirations for Stranger Things. The original working title of the show was even Montauk. So we're talking about the psychological warfare, experimenting on children, opening portals to other dimensions, and various of nefarious government-funded creepiness.
Yeah, that
Hey,
ties in with the Eldritch thing, the Philadelphia experiment,
mm-hmm.
at least in the
Uh,
book.
where it came from. While there were rumors circulating around shady government activity on the southern eastern tip of Long Island for nearly a decade prior, the legend wasn't fully baked into until the early 1990s when Peter B. Nichols, a parapsychologist and electrical engineer, helped pen the Montauk Project Experiments in Time, which detailed a slew of salacious repressed memories from his days working in Montauk, corroborated by other colleagues. The book detailed time warps to Mars, genetic experiments, and 11 esque psychic child spies. The Montauk Project itself is said to be the piece of a larger psychological warfare conspiracy called the Philadelphia Experiment. Thank you, Steve, which naturally inspired its own film too. So wow.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That's
Okay.
probably where Goatman came from.
Well, then you have the Montauk beast or monster, the thing that floated up on the shores there. Remember
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
picture of that dead thing with like a beak? And did
Mhm.
they ever figure out what that was?
I think it was a raccoon, something like that. A dog, raccoon.
With a beak? I swear it looked like it had a beak.
Well, that's because of the skin and cartilage is gone around its nose and area right there.
Hmm. Okay, North Carolina. Dang, how far are we?
We're in the ends.
We are in the ends.
I don't know how many more states there are. I know we're in Washington and we're last, huh? Jeez, always last to everything.
We're barely halfway through.
Well, there'd have to be, let's see, Wisconsin.
We could skip some of the boring states if you want.
Okay, I'll skip around if you want. I'll just name them. North Carolina has the Beast of Bladenboro.
Hmm.
He will drain your blood. North Dakota has the White Lady Lane.
Hmm.
And the baby, forced her to marry her father, and the baby ended up dying after the wedding. The girl is so upset about her baby that she was forced to marry, hanged herself in the bridge in her wedding dress, and now she's a ghost.
Wow, that's tragic.
Whew. Ohio, the werewolf of Defiance.
Oh, here's your dog man.
There he is. There he is. Standing
During the
proud.
summer of 1972, the people of Defiance claimed they were being terrorized by a werewolf. The sightings always happened at night, generally by the train tracks. A couple of women said it would try to get into their houses by rattling the doorknobs. The animal was said to be huge, hairy, and dressed in rags.
Hmm.
Uh,
He should have knocked. Maybe he would have got a response. Just jiggling the handle.
where's the Beast of Bray Road? Where's Bray Road? I forgot. Is that Ohio?
Is no, I think that's Michigan, isn't it? Isn't that where the old dog man
Michigan.
thing stems from?
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised Ohio didn't have the grass man on there.
Oh yeah,
That's a
and the
popular
Grassman
one.
too.
Yeah, the popular one from Ohio.
Wisconsin, Beast of Bray Road.
There you go.
That's after Washington.
There you go. Yeah, at least you're not the last.
Well, see, I have Boy Scott Lane and something else. Anyway, let's keep going. Oklahoma, the mysterious shaman's portal. Beaver Dunes Park. Attributed to ancient Native American burial grounds, a shaman's portal, also known as the Oklahoma Bermuda Triangle. Mysterious things happened in the park, starting with Spanish conquistadors who went missing while searching for gold in the 1500s. Since then, paranormal activity seekers flock to the dunes. Some people claim that the UFO crashed there, and a group in the 90s who tested the soil said it was abnormal. Oregon, the Bandaged Man of Cannon Beach.
I've been there.
Is that a mummy?
I guess
Yeah.
so. The Bandaged Man is the American version of a mummy. He is rumored to be the ghost of a logger who died in the sawmill accident and now terrorizes teenagers who hang out at the deserted area of the highway near Cannon Beach. Stories say that he knocks on car windows to try and get in and smells really, really bad.
Well, it is Oregon. I mean,
Oh.
a lot of hippie people there.
Okay, Pennsylvania. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait. North Carolina. We do. Wait. Oh, okay. What was the one? Oregon. Why did it? I don't know why this did that. Okay, now it's moving. I couldn't get it to move. We're still good. Pennsylvania, the bus to nowhere. In Philadelphia, rumored to be a bus that doesn't have an end destination. The story says that the bus only picks up passengers that are at their lowest moments who need to get away from their problems. Once the passenger is ready to face the world, they get off the bus. Whoa.
Wasn't that on Harry Potter?
Harry Potter
I don't know.
sounds like a metaphorical headspace.
Rhode Island, the Devil's Footprint. There's a rock on Devil's Footprint Road that appears to show a normal human footprint and a cloven hoof. The story goes that a Native American woman murdered a white man and fled the scene of the crime. While running, she was stopped by another man. She cried out for the devil to save her. When the man admitted that he himself was the devil and stomped his feet on the ground to prove that he had a cloven hoof, which the rock still shows to this day.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's so determined to prove himself. He just did that, huh? He's like, I swear I'm the devil. Look at this. Boom. There's my footprint. There you go.
Okay, South Carolina. The death of Julia Lagar. Didn't you? In the 1800s, the Lagares were a well-to-do South Carolinian family that had homes on the mainland on the Edistro Island. The daughter Julia got sick, pronounced dead, and was buried inside the family mausoleum. Years later, another member of the Laguerre family died, and when their tomb was opened up, the remains of Julia were found outside of her coffin. The story says that Julia had been in a coma and had woken up to try and escape her tomb, but sadly died.
That's sad.
Didn't they used to put like bells inside of coffins too,
Yeah.
so that if somebody was still alive, they would ring the bell to try to get somebody?
I think that's actually where the phrase "saved by the bell" came from.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, they also used to put the cages over the ones that they thought might reanimate themselves and come back and kill people.
Ah,
I thought they just nailed them through the heart with wood or iron.
Apparently they just wanted to make sure it didn't happen. They couldn't get out of that coffin. Like, we're just gonna put a steel cage over this bad boy, call it good.
probably in Transylvania there was a lot of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it was. It was they were from like the 1800s.
South Dakota, Walking Sam and the Pine Ridge Island Reservation. A 7-foot tall and very slim walking Sam is said to appear on the streets of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation at night, and he tries to convince teenagers to take their own lives. Whether or not Walking Sam is real, something tragic is going on at the reservation. From December 2014 to May 2015, there were 103 suicide attempts at Pine Ridge.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Tennessee, the boy in the bathroom at Pine Haven School. Pine Haven School, located in Jamestown, is old and abandoned and is said to be haunted. The tragic story supposedly took place there, where a boy was cornered by a group of bullies in the bathroom and shoved into a mirror, which shattered and killed him. To avoid getting caught committing murder, the bullies decided to bury the body underneath the floorboards. Today, people say that if you go inside the school, you can see the reflection of the boy if you look into the mirror. Texas, the Candy Lady. In the early 1900s, children in the unnamed rural town in Texas started to go missing, and the residents blamed it on the Candy Lady. The story says that she would go around leaving candy on children's windows, and eventually she'd lure the kids out with notes attached promising more candy. The story picked up steam when the farmer allegedly found rotten teeth on his farm and later found the body of a boy with his pockets stuffed with candy. While little is known about the origin of the story, some have speculated that the Candy Lady was real and that her name was Clara Crane. Ooh, that's not that movie that's out, Candy, is it? Is that something different? Who stars in that? Somebody quick, check it out. The movie Candy. It's going to be released right now or soon. Anyway, the Utah, the curse of Escalante Petrified Forest. While it is illegal to take anything from Escalante Petrified Forest State Park, there is a legend that says that if anybody takes a piece of petrified wood from the park, they will be cursed with bad luck, sickness, and accidents. Park manager Kendall Farnsworth stated that in 2014 that he gets about a dozen packages a year containing a piece of wood from the park and an apologetic letter detailing the sender's misfortunes. Wow.
Yeah,
That's kind of like
Hawaii. You have the same thing with lava rocks.
yes, that's what I was going to say.
It's a common parks legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually at Craters of the Moon, Steve, they said that you can't take any rocks, but I did. I took a little rock.
Look what happened to your hair.
Yeah, I know, huh? That's probably what it is. Jeez.
Oh,
I
see?
condemned myself. Don't grab the rocks, people.
Hey, I didn't say that.
If I had the rock, I can send it back, and I wonder if it would come back.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that'd be nice.
We are connecting the dots, people. Connecting
It's coming
the
together.
dots.
Coming
I
together.
was buying something at a store, and I showed my ID. I had my hat on, and my driver's license shows the hair coming down the side, and but my driver's license doesn't have the hat. So no, this isn't you. This is someone who has hair.
Oh, that's funny. Oh.
Took the hat off, and okay.
I only knew about the Hawaii thing because of the Brady Bunch. Do you remember the episode when they
Oh,
had the little tiki?
Mhm.
The little tiki
The
thing.
tarantula. I hear the
Oh
music.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Vermont. The Frozen People. First appearing in a diary that was published in the late 1800s, the legend of the hibernating old people recounts the tale of a poor family outside of Montpelier who couldn't afford to feed and clothe the oldest members of the family, so they froze the people and buried them. According to the tale, when spring rolled around, the elders thawed out and were just fine. Oh my
No,
goodness.
they could have had porcupine pie.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
There's a new cryptid in the Vermont state there. Porky Man. We're going to make it stick. Porky Man. That's what we're going to call it from now on.
Okay, Virginia, the Bunny Man. This was that ugly bunny that I had on my promo on the front. The Bunny Man legend starts with what every good urban legend starts with: an insane asylum. The people of Clifton were so up in arms about the asylum that they were able to get all of the patients transferred. The patients were being moved on a bus that crashed, and the police were able to catch all of the patients except for one, the Bunny Man. According to the tale, the Bunny Man lived in the woods and sustained himself on woodland creatures like bunnies. But eventually he attacked humans, so people reported being attacked by a man with a hatchet. Other tales say that the group of teens would see a bright light and then would wind up dead and strung up over the bridge.
That actually sounded like one of the old Batman series villains.
Yeah, it does. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Brent.
Oh,
Washington.
Washington, up at
Yep.
Washington State. Look at that.
Bigfoot
Picture
is
of something from California.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, these pictures were like not well thought. Anyway, Bigfoot is internationally recognized name and has been spotted all over the country, but Bigfoot has been spotted the most in Washington State. Bigfoot is essentially a gigantic ape-like creature who is either a ferocious beast who attacks loggers and hikers or a gentle giant who wants to be left alone.
Wants to be your forest friend.
Picture may not resemble actual product.
Yeah. Either way, there's something creepy about an undiscovered species of animal wandering around the Pacific Northwest, evading capture.
Yes.
Nice. West Virginia, the Mothman. And I know there was people wanting to go in depth about Mothman, but in 1966, stories say that West Virginia was visited by an insectoid flying creature with bright red eyes who resembled both a moth and a man. He was spotted flying around the town of Point Pleasant along with shining lights and the Men in Black. Mothman's origins have been claimed as supernatural, alien, or government experiment gone wrong. But Point Pleasant has embraced the monster, erecting a statue, creating a museum, and even dedicating a festival to him. In 2002, a film starring Richard Gere called The Mothman Prophecies was released.
That was pretty good. That was good.
Can we have all three? I mean, you only have to choose one.
What?
Let's see. What was it? Government conspiracy?
Oh,
Mutant?
yeah. Government, what?
Alien?
Supernatural, alien, or government experiment gone wrong, claimed as all those things.
Yeah, this was actually a snow owl, most likely.
Pretty big.
Yeah, because if you look, the wings actually can't physically lift that size of a body, so it's I don't know, the wings would have to be huge to lift something of that weight.
Yeah.
So the physics are way off on that bad boy.
It's just an urban legend. What, Steve?
It's just a tourist attraction.
Yeah. They just
It's a good
what
one.
they
Honestly,
keep
in
saying. It
Wisconsin,
turns
Boy
up.
Scouts are scary.
Oh, Boy Scout Lane, Wisconsin. The story of, oh my God, why do you do that to me? My daughter, all of a sudden, she's right there. Jeez, I'm reading scary stories. Gosh, I'll be done in a little bit. Oh, where was I? The story of what exactly happened at Boy Scout Lane varies, but they all end up in the same conclusion: a group of Boy Scouts dead on the road. Wow. In some stories, there was a bus crash with no survivors, and they were murdered by their bus driver, and they just mysteriously vanished into the woods one by one. Visitors have reported seeing a swinging body in the trees, feeling as though they are being watched, and finding child-sized handprints. Whoa. Oh, I like this one. The Wyoming Devil's Tower.
this means something.
It's located in Bear Ridge Mountains, Wyoming. There's no scientific consensus on why Devil's Rock looks the way it does, but one Native American creation story attributes the landmark shape to a tragedy. According to the story, a large group of Cheyenne girls were attacked and killed by a bear. Two escaped and found help from two boys who convinced the girls to act as bait. They climbed to the top of the tower and the bear tried to follow. The boys shot arrows at the bears and it finally gave up, leaving scratches all the way down the rock as it slid down.
Yeah, I've been there before. It's a cool place. It was a
Have
little,
have they determined why it just looks like that? Because it looks like that.
yeah, it's actually an old like a volcano tube or something, and the ground just eroded around it.
Uh-huh.
And this is what's left. It was I forgot exactly what it was, like a volcano shaft or something.
Yeah.
Or there's a geological explanation for it,
Yeah.
basically.
Because I
But the
remember it
bear,
was also going around that it was, had wood, that it
oh
was
yeah,
a trunk.
yeah, yeah. It's not. It's a geological thing. Looked good in a movie though, huh? You guys, I'm sure you all watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That was a good
Yep.
movie.
Loved it. Love it. Love it. For sure. Make a replica with your mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, Lockbeard. Okay, I'll check it out. He says he has it on episode 2. He talked about that. So go to
Nice.
Lockbeard's channel, people, and you will learn more about the Devil's Tower. So cool. So whew, that was a lot. And there was still a few more I had over here, but we'll
All
call
50
it a
states right
day.
there.
Yeah, we hit them
That was a
all.
good one.
That was a lot. For sure. What were we gonna do next? I wanted to talk about Brent helped me out with making a small short, what do you call it? A short clip?
Short clips.
Short
Clip.
clip of taking part of my shows and picking out certain stories or whatever we're doing. Like this last one we did Beacon Bigfoot. He took that 20 minutes of where we were just talking about the Beacon Bigfoot and he clipped it just so that that's the only thing. And I'm going to start putting those out to help me, drive up my subscriptions and subscribers. And it's just makes it easier for people to find information on my channel because sometimes I'll do 5 or 6 things in one show, or more. And not everybody wants to watch a 2-hour show. They
Well, it's a great resource if they come across somebody that's in a chat room or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, the Beacon Bigfoot's a real thing," and you're like, "Oh, hey, check this out first before you believe in it."
right.
And then they could just post your video, and it's a quick, 22-minute long video that they can go check out and show exactly what it is,
Right.
and take away
So
their world.
my first premiere of the Beacon Bigfoot will be tomorrow afternoon. I think I said 3 p.m. tomorrow.
I think I work.
And I'll get better at posting that stuff when I get used to it and I make, better thumbnails and stuff like that. But this will be just the first one. So a lot of you who are here have already seen the show, with the Beacon Bigfoot in there. So I'm just letting you know that that's coming out and it's going to be so that I can use it to promote myself a little more. So if you want to take that and share it, I would appreciate it. Just trying to, drive my show up a little bit.
Well, your show is really important for this community because it talks about something that's a little taboo, and you do it in a really good way that presents it, and so there's less drama. But these are discussions that do need to be had, and your channel is incredibly important. Especially for people coming in and to get a good sense of that there are hoaxes going on out there, and it's okay to talk about them. So kudos.
I gotta pick a fight. Donald Fuller says I gotta pick a fight with a big YouTuber to get them subs up. Yeah, that's not worth it. Seriously, that's not worth it.
No, it just takes like
Um,
one video that just kind of gets passed around, and
it's just I'm in a grouping of people, great people, as a matter of fact, but we're watching our same shows over and over, and my numbers are great. It's just I need to hit some alternate groups, not
Mhm.
our groups.
Well, people
Um,
want the scary stories. They don't want
yeah, they want the
the fact
stories.
that there's probably nothing actually out there in the woods, and you're just hearing an animal walking around breaking sticks.
Yeah.
It's more fun
But
if
they don't
it's
want to be
Bigfoot.
told that it's not real, and I'm pretty much everything I'm showing, I'm telling them that's not real. I'm just trying to make people realize don't take the first thing serious, do homework. That's all. Just
Mhm.
ask questions, is there red flags? And go through, make yourself a little checklist of things when you're because it's the quickest thing is people grab stuff and they share it, and it has a history. All this stuff already has a history out there. So it's not really difficult to find a little bit of information about something that would just dispute some of these things that are going on.
The
Well,
whole
I think
purpose of social media is to destroy history. So,
And it
yeah,
will. It will do that. And I don't care if I keep having to bring up this stuff over and over again, because that's what I decided I wanted to do.
yeah, you're
It
giving people you're giving people the resources that they need to better educate themselves in this subject, and that's like I
Right.
say, that's incredibly important. And you'll always have your naysayers and people trying to stop you, but that's fine because you're reaching a bigger audience, one that's going to be more uh, over time. You're going to be you'll see that influence of what you're doing start to be shown everywhere and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's something that
Because
definitely needs to be done.
every week you can go to Facebook and find a group, and there will be new photos that they're saying is new photos, okay? Or even saying, "Oh, my friend sent me this from their trail cam," and it's not. So we just let it go. Oh God, not again. And we let it go. And I don't think we should do that. I think the more people who know, hey, no, that's Beacon Bigfoot. That came from here, and this is a Bigfoot Beacon Bigfoot movie, and it's this 23-minute long thing that you should see, because there's a lot of photos in there that are not real, and this is who did it, and that's the end of the story. So that when they keep coming up, it's not all brand new, because there are new people coming into this community every day.
Hmm.
People, where remember when you first came in to the community, I wanted to believe everything, everything
Yeah,
was wow, this and that, and let me see more. And you just
you're like
are
a kid in a
thirsty for
candy
more and
store.
more. Yeah. So everything's awesome and real, and you want to believe, and that belief makes you, you know,
Naive and no,
yeah,
that's true. That I was the same way where I kind of believed everything when I came into it. Just opening myself up. Just especially with all these investigators who said that they knew and all about the Bigfoots and stuff. And then just over time you start to see. I just wish that there was more resources for me when I came into this subject of like honestly, like for you, you were one of the grounding people in the subject, Nikki, when I first came into it, like listened to you on the ECBRO and stuff. It's like, wow, she's like define what the general rhetoric is about this subject, and uh, you know, but again, it's just these are important conversations to have, especially if we're going to try and get to the truth.
right.
well, I'm
And
torn on that because the stories. I mean, it's like science fiction stories. It's really the same thing. They depend on the idea that, of course, this is real. It's all real. It's all true, especially the lies.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's not, and we need to understand that and talk about it, and even sometimes point out the people who are being nefarious, up to no good, really doing some shenanigans that go against what a normal, healthy human being should be doing as far as like scamming people out of money or whatever and stuff. And there's a lot of it that happens. Like, like it's insane.
And yet that's the point to so much of it. I mean, ghost stories, the Dogman stories, all of that. I don't know if you've noticed, Brent. Suddenly in my YouTube feed are a series of Dogman on Mount Rainier stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's a cryptid that's, you know, kind of a hot cryptid now, and you know, it's yeah, it's just one of those things where it just kind of gets recycled, and it's a
Yeah, I
creepypasta
think it's
era.
vampire, werewolf stuff that's
Yeah.
popular. So
That's why I
Right.
try to like present grounded stuff, like more realistic, nothing sensationalized. It's just more of a reality of what's going on in the Bigfoot community. And you know, I think I got a pretty good baseline as far as I'm pretty grounded and, you know, on a good path of really finding out what's going on and not going down the wrong road of
it's true what JC says. A lot of people come in with the wrong kind of filters, and they need to figure out what filters they need to use if they're interested in real information. So many people aren't. They just want the scary stories.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you guys are wondering like what I do or like my approach, because I know some people like don't like my approach, like some of the things I do, things I say, that's the whole reason. It's just more because I wish somebody would say this stuff when I got into this subject, because it would have really helped me out a lot and saved me a lot of time, resources, and money and stuff. So that's why I do and say what I say.
Right.
No other reason. That's all I
And
really
you
have to
know,
offer. I can't find Bigfoot. You know, it's not.
I want to make it to where when you guys are online and you see this stuff and either you learned it from me or from somebody else, you can pass it along and say, "Hey, no, she did a whole thing on that and she showed all the evidence according, you know, whatever I had against that being real or whatever it is, the situation. But that now you have a link to share immediately to those
Yes.
people and say, watch this.
Yeah.
Now,
You're going to get yourself banned
now
from
come
all the
up.
Bigfoot conferences, Brent.
What's that?
Yeah.
You're going to get yourself banned from all the Bigfoot conferences.
I know, huh? They're gonna be like, "Hey, he's coming.
I'm
Shut the
not
doors.
telling you
Shut the
to
doors."
believe everything I'm telling you. I'm just telling you to make um
Employ
do
critical thinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, use a little bit of that and then make your decision. Get the information and then make your decision instead of right away jumping into that. Wow, that has really long arms and that's great and you know, looks perfect or looks like what I saw or whatever. Just have more information. And once you've seen the information that's out there that I've pulled together, you know, then you're going to have a way to share that with other people easier if we start breaking up my long shows into just smaller.
I
Okay,
think
this,
it's important too. Yeah.
yeah, and Brent's going to help me out with that and once I get going on it, then maybe I can start doing it more automatically.
Hmm.
How
Yeah.
much
I mean,
memory does a computer have, by the way? Because I'm gonna have to update.
well,
What
you can
are
just
the-
get, yeah, you can get like a terabyte external hard drive for like 50,
Mhm.
$60 on Amazon or something, which
I
works really well for storage.
I need to check
For
that
stuff you
out.
want to do.
So that's that. That's gonna be coming out new for me. And what else did I say we were gonna talk about? Oh, I don't have it here. Hold on. I wanted to show your pictures.
Oh, yeah. From the Big Four ice caves. So if you guys are local in Washington State, the Mountain Loop Highway is open all the way up to the Monte Cristo gate going west if you're local. And so, yeah, I went out to
Oh,
cruised out to Big Four ice
almost.
caves because they just opened the Mountain Loop Highway like a couple days ago, which is what they call Bigfoot Mecca, because there's so many reports coming off the Mountain Loop Highway that it's like, wow, that's the one place you want to go.
Yeah, there are so many Bigfooters out there whooping.
Yeah, that too. gotta watch out. But the Mountain Loop Highway, it's an old wagon road that they used to connect to these towns. There's a lot of gold mining towns, mineral towns, and a lot of these pop up little areas. And the Mountain Loop Highway kind of cut through that, and it's in the heart of the Cascades almost, and so it has to close most of the year or part of the year because of the snow and the slides and everything. And so it just reopened, and they paved it back in like 1936. So now it's an official paved highway, but even then, it's tough.
Sorry, I
slides
couldn't
and
find it. I don't know
I
why.
thought part of that was permanently closed.
the what?
I thought part of that was permanently closed.
The Mountain Loop Highway?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can go all the way. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the
Yeah.
Big Four Ice
I
Caves.
was just looking at road closures, and there's the seasonal closures, but that loop that goes down by Monte Cristo, I remember seeing that say that was a long-term closure.
Oh yeah, the to Monte Cristo, because that's where the gate to finish up the Mountain Loop Highway to Darrington goes. But yeah, the Monte Cristo bridge and everything. Yeah, that you can still drive it because you can actually drive up to that area, but but you're not allowed.
Yeah, no, I mean
a
a segment from near Darrington almost all the way to Granite Falls that said it was a long-term closure. So.
Oh no, it's still closed from Monte Cristo to where the other gate is. I think it's Beetle, right in that area. So it should be closed. But they just reopened it, so I don't know how much they update that. It's a great road to drive on, though.
That's just beautiful. I just love this photo.
Yeah, it was a really nice day. Well, it started off as a nice day, and it's the Big Four Ice Caves. I'm at a location where a hotel burned down in like the 1800s. This here's off Green Mountain. This is a mountain where there's a lot of Bigfoot activity. Even as Snohomish County Sheriff saw Bigfoot crossing the road in this area right here. Or back up to the Big Four Ice Caves here, and a big hotel burned down there. I think turn of the century, and it was a big thoroughway for the mining towns up in the back area, because this led to Monte Cristo, which is an abandoned town now, but it was quite the popular mining town back in the day. But yeah, it's a great area. Just kind of went as far as I could, and this here is the main area where the hotel burned down, and there's a chimney. I don't know if it's included with the pictures. I don't think it is, but the remnants of the chimney is still there. And that's pretty much it. And so they built some boardwalks to kind of go back there. So if you look straight back in the middle of the picture, there's they have what's called an ice cave, where it's a year-round, kind of like a glacier, or it's really just an avalanche chute, really, that just gets repopulated every year. It's not really an ice cave. And it's a popular destination where you can go back there, and some people go into the ice cave. But and some people climb on it, but none of it's recommended because people do die from it, and like people getting hit by falling ice. And when I first took my kids there, we were actually watching. All of us were watching these three college kids that actually climbed to the top of it and just started walking down, and just a really stupid thing to do. But yeah, it's a beautiful area. They got some boardwalks that go back up in there, so it will so you can kind of get access to the back area. Now you can't access the ice caves anymore because they took the bridge out, because one of the main support columns was damaged, so they haven't fixed it yet. But yes, the main picnic area. It's you have to have a discovery pass, which is $30 to access these areas without paying.
Oh wow,
that's
not too bad though.
No, it's $30 per year, so it's you get that money goes towards stuff like this. They fix up this stuff, and this is an area again that has a lot of Bigfoot activity, a lot of Bigfoot reports, and even in this area here.
I think I would definitely get my steps in if I lived near some place like this.
Yeah, it's nice because you can see the storm starting to come in right now.
Yeah,
and I haven't put the video up yet, but there's a video of me walking back from this area all the way to my car, and it's just like hailing so bad. I'm like soaked, and I left my car windows down too, so that was fun. Yeah, I'm like so paranoid. I'm so paranoid of my car getting broken into at these trailheads now that I just leave the car windows down in hopes that nobody breaks my window to steal either because they're looking for just merchandise or whatever, but they also steal people's door openers and their registration information so they can go back to these people's house when they're not there and rob them pretty much. So it's a huge epidemic that's going on in some of these very, very popular hiking trails in Washington. Wow. Yeah, this year's up off Green Mountain. It's just like all the stars align and everything, and you get some really good shots of just of nature doing what it does.
Weren't those flowers that were on Star Trek?
Yeah.
That one. There's the photo. I'm like, ice caves kill. Oh, yeah. Shoot.
The last girl who died there, she was 7 years old, and she was just up standing next to the ice caves, and a piece of ice came down off the mountain way up top, and she died. And it's not uncommon for the ice caves to actually collapse inside of themselves towards the end of the year. Like I say, it's not really an official glacier or anything. It's just a avalanche deposit area that gets replenished every year. But yeah, it was a fun trip. Yeah, here's one of the waterfalls. This is the waterfall that goes down into the main ice caves, because there's a little river that comes out of the ice cave area, which is what forms the ice caves. And then that river goes underneath the snow. And it was a couple of years ago, or like 3 or 4 years ago, there was a kid there, and he fell through the snow, and the other parents just like rushed to him and actually was able to get him before he got sucked underneath there. So it's dangerous. It's a dangerous area. You gotta keep a watch.
Yeah, we live in such a nanny state. They close down more and more fun things every year.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're going to put that bridge back up, but if they don't, you can still wade across that river during the low flow season, so you can at least get up there. But by that time, the ice thing is already gone, pretty much. Oops. But yeah, that was my last trip. Went yesterday. Spent $5.05 in gas. That's like the most expensive I ever bought gas for.
I don't let my gas gauge even get to a half. I fill up as soon as it's, anywhere near there.
Yeah, I just went ahead and filled it up now because I know in the coming week, or in the next coming week, since Memorial Weekend coming, that it's just going to go higher and higher. So
right.
Yeah, I might as well do it now. Spend this $80 to fill up a little car's gas tank.
That's what I was looking at. So we are 27. The 27th is my anniversary. So I don't know if I'll be doing a show on Friday night or not. It depends on if he takes me out or not. So I have to leave that open. But we might do the bingo show on next Sunday. And what we'll do is the very first bingo will be with the winners, with my 10 or 11 winners that we've had for the first bingo. And then I'm going to open it up to everybody else because I went ahead and bought the whole package. So I have to see how that works. And it's going to be where you have to be able to have a second. Well, I'm sure you could do it from a computer, but you have to have a tab so that you can get the link and go to the link, and then you'll get a bingo card that way. So I'm going to learn about that this week, and we'll do that way. So
hope you feel better, Anita. Just put on some good music and sit back and relax.
Right. Oh, I had a horrible night. I didn't sleep last night. I got restless leg syndrome last night. It was horrible. Oh my goodness. I don't know if any of you have ever suffered from that, but I had a bout last night, and man, even my knees were on fire. I don't know what happened.
Well, hopefully you get a
But
good night's sleep tonight. Shoot.
I know.
So,
Hopefully tonight will be different and we'll be good to go. So anyway, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me tonight and talking a little urban legendy.
yeah, that was good, educational.
Yeah,
Fun.
there's some crazy things out there, and that's just the tip. That was just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many that you can't even really go into a lot of them. But again, thank you, everybody. Please, if you like my content, go over there and hit that little thumbs up and share it. Make sure you're subscribed. Some people are saying that YouTube's been taking them off subscription.
I know. I actually have that problem too. It's like I'm like I will subscribe to your channel. It's like, and then I find out that I'm not. You know, like different
Right.
channels and stuff, like different things, and
Uh-huh.
not even in Bigfooting and stuff. It's like I don't know if it's I'm like being like stupid and like accidentally unscribing it because I use my phone for pretty much everything.
No,
I don't know
their database is getting messed up here and there.
because I know I get subscribed to channels. It's like I didn't subscribe to this, so I just assume I accidentally hit the finger. My finger accidentally hit the button or something.
Right.
But that's good to know that I'm not the only one because it's like, dang.
Because you learn the people who you watch and when they come out, and I'm like, how come I didn't get a notification? And then I'm not subscribed anymore. It's like, wow. Or I'm not the notification little button, the little bell was taken off.
Oh,
So
I haven't experienced that. I've experienced where even though I have that bell icon for them, to alert, I don't get their alert. I don't know if it's because I have too many of those bells alerting me, and YouTube only sends you so many alerts per minute, per day, per hour. I don't know. Makes you wonder.
I don't know. That's crazy. But
get your stuff together, YouTube. But I love you. Don't take this video down, please.
It's a love-hate relationship.
We love you.
For sure.
But get your stuff together.
Right. So, okay, again, thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Love y'all. Good night.
See ya.